So when I say a rally, I don't mean a rally up to 20K. It just means that we see a reversal pattern and a break of resistance that now becomes support, and we stop making lower highs. What is going on, crypto peeps? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader on this fine Tuesday. Let us get right into it. Market cap sits at 120 bill, fluctuates up and down, not really any big difference there. Looking at the cryptocurrencies, we did have a few cryptos that are worth mentioning, and we'll get right into those in a second, especially the ones which we sent out trade alerts for. I'll go over those in a second. Let me just change this value to BTC real quick. As you see, TRON continues to kill it. BNB over the last week making some nice moves. VeChain finally woke up, as you see here, up almost 16% over the last week, 9% over the last 24 hours. Chainlink, I mean, you know, it does see lulls in its rally, but really can't be stopped. ZIL also finally woke up. Augur moving into the top 35 cryptos, up 51% over the last week. All right, let us get right into the Bitcoin analysis. Here is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. And I want to compare this to, it's funny, I want to compare this to the altcoin market cap chart, right? So this is the market cap of all of the altcoins. And if you look at the charts between this is the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly chart of the altcoin market cap and the weekly chart of Bitcoin, they are almost identical. And this is a testament that Bitcoin is definitely still the market driver. Even if you look, you know, if you zoom in and look at some of the candlestick patterns on the same weeks, Bitcoin is forming the exact same ones as the altcoin market cap. The only difference here, really the only big difference, is that the altcoin market cap already fell below the 200-week moving average. Bitcoin still holding that 200-week moving average, still holding it really strong, right? You see here in the green, this is the 200-week, and it's currently using the 200-week as support, right? If we fall below this on Bitcoin, then that could spell, I wouldn't say disaster, but, you know, yeah, I mean, some people will view it as disaster. We'll probably fall back down to previous support levels. So anywhere between 1,800 and 2,500 would be the target if we broke this. Another thing to note, it's not as big of a deal as breaking the 200 moving average, but the 50 and the 100 converging, right? If the 50 falls below the 100, that could also signify another downtrend in the bear market. One other thing that's worrying me here is the pattern that it's forming. We've gone over this before, but you'll see here it's forming a bear flag pattern, right? This is a classic bear flag here. And this is obviously something that you don't want to see, because more often than not, these will tend to break to the downside, especially with weakening volume. You can see here the volume. This is the 20 period moving average for the volume. And, you know, you can count anything below this as below average, anything below this orange line. So if we don't get a surge of volume like we did here back in the middle of 2017, which, you know, really catalyzed this rally here, then we are more likely to break to the downside. Now I am on the record as saying that I do think by the end of 2019 we will see another Bitcoin rally. Now, when I say another Bitcoin rally, I don't, you know, let's just take the 20K target out of mind. That is an anomaly as of now, right? That should not be the goal. But the goal is to see a reversal, right? And confirm a reversal. And a reversal would be if we stop making lower highs, right? Because we continually make these lower highs, as you see here. It's a trend that really hasn't stopped, and a reversal would be if we stopped making lower highs and we see a pattern, an actual pattern, a reversal pattern on the long-term chart. So something like an inverse head and shoulders, a double bottom, something of that sort, right? And then a close above previous support levels where the support now becomes, or where the resistance now becomes support, right? So we would need to close above something like this level here, this key level here, in order to speak of any sort of reversal. So when I say a rally, I don't mean a rally up to 20K. It just means that we see a reversal pattern and a break of resistance that now becomes support, and we stop making lower highs as we have been making for over a year now. looking at some of our winning trades. And I just want to show you this to show you what a setup looks like, right? Like as a trader, what is it that you look for in a setup? What is deemed an optimal setup? So, you know, you don't just enter trades in blindly. You do look for confirmations and breakouts. And TRON is one of them that we did send a trade alert out for at the break of this cup and handle. If you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description, by the way. And at the breakout of this cup and handle, you know, like I said, I mean, you don't need to enter trades in blindly. If you're dollar cost averaging or investing for the long term, that's fine. But if you're swing trading and you're looking to make short-term profits time after time, you know, entering and exiting trades, especially because it's really cheap to do so in crypto versus stocks, then you want to start learning these patterns and learning how to read breakouts. So cup and handle is a bullish pattern if we break above the handle, and we did break and close above the handle. Sent a trade alert signal at the close of this cup and handle, and now we are at 741 sats on TRON and up about 33%. Now I did send another trade alert at the breakout of this key level for those that didn't get in at the cup and handle breakout. There are multiple areas of entry, right? I mean, you can basically, you're looking for support and resistance and a break and a close above certain key levels before you enter a trade. And you could set a tight stop limit below those levels if the trade doesn't pan out and you exit relatively unscathed. Another one that we sent a trade alert out for, this was yesterday, we sent a trade alert out for VeChain. If you look here, was forming an ascending triangle, trying to break this resistance multiple times on the 4-hour before finally piercing through with good volume. And you'll see here the trade alert that I sent out last night on TRON. It hadn't yet broken the ascending triangle. And I don't mind showing you this, obviously, because it's an old trade alert. Trade alerts are sent out on the Discord, by the way. VeChain confirming the breakout and the close above the ascending triangle. You can safely enter your trade with a stop limit below the resistance, which is now support of the ascending triangle. Litecoin had a really weird chart because on the 4-hour, it was forming this clear bearish pennant, right? And what you tend to see after a bearish pennant, the bearish pennant is a continuation pattern, right? And after that, you tend to see further downside action after the bearish pennant is formed. However, it broke the bearish pennant to the upside, but we did see clear resistance here at around $33. The volume was terrible. This is what you can call a bull trap of sorts. It fell back down to the support levels that we saw previously, going all the way back to December, as well as the support levels that we saw in the bearish pennant. At that point, we entered a trade safely. You can set your stop limit below this support range, right? And we are now rallying up to $31.6. Again, access to the trade alerts link is in the description. Let us look at the stocks really quick. Not much movement in the market. It's actually been kind of a dull market over the last couple of weeks. We did see, you know, some volatility, but it quickly shot back down. The S&P less than 1% drop. The NASDAQ about a 1% drop. The Dow Jones about 0.5% or more drop. Most of the major market cap stocks, which happen to be tech companies, will be following the NASDAQ. So you can expect to see most of the big stocks down about the same amount. Amazon down 2%, Microsoft down almost 1%, Google almost 1%, Apple down 1%, et cetera, et cetera. So the stocks tend to follow the indices, obviously, because the indices are made up of these stocks, but there isn't as much volatility as you would see in something like crypto. Now, keep in mind that the earnings reports of a lot of these stocks are coming up soon in the next few days. So we will tend to see some more movement as those earnings reports come out. And some companies miss those earnings reports as Apple is expected to, and some companies beat those earnings reports as potentially Netflix is expected to. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have a question or a comment, leave it in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. Stay safe out there. Peace.